here we go. Welcome, everybody, back to Studio de Jeffrey, where I am actually at home in the friendly confines of the Studio de Jeffrey. It's a nice place to be. We are happy to be back here, and we've still got Cowboy Camp observations, as now I just have to keep tabs on it through video and following all of the people and talking to all the people that I talk to, but we are back, baby! If you're on YouTube, did you get a notification when I went live? I did this a little bit differently this time. I did this with a little OBS action, a little YouTube studio action. So, who knows? I'll send out a tweet anyway, just to let people know that we're in here. But we got stuff to talk about. Also, feel free to fire away your questions about Cowboys Camp or anything Cowboys related or anything related. And I'll do my best to get to it. Let me say, we live right here. That's me. Go. Boop, boop. How you guys doing? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We are in a good mood at home. Today's volleyball day. Turn your volume up a bit, please. Okay, here we go. Cranking. Check, check. Sound better? You want me to turn it up even more? Hit me with it, people. Hit me with it, people. Why is Landon McCool saying Zeke has looked as good as Pollard? Because Landon's lying to you. No, Landon's my dude. If that's his observation, that's his observation. I think watching, 8 or 9 days, Pollard is the one who more often is popping the explosive plays, the big gainers. Zeke looks good. I'm not saying Zeke looks bad in any way, shape, or form. Zeke looks good. He's having a good camp. Pollard looks awesome. That's all. How excited are you with the Barr signing? A little bit excited. Not super excited. Less excited than when they initially did it, just because I remember when the offseason started, I think Anthony Barr was looking for $10 or $11 million per season, and you're like, hell yeah, dude, that dude's awesome. When you realize the contract's for 2 years, and it's up to 3 years total, or it's $2 million, up to $3 million total if he reaches a bunch of incentives, that makes me realize, okay, the league thinks that his knees have about had it, and he's just going to be able to help out in certain packages and situations, and you're going to have to kind of slow roll him into this thing, which is cool. It's still good to have him, just not as excited as I was initially. Skywalker Steele, who is now your man on the ground in Oxnard, I know that he and Law Nation and Vatra are all out there. Next time, tell me to bring a damn coat to the Rudder Room. That is true. If you hear us talk about the Rudder Room, it is a dive bar on the beach that's cash only. There's an ATM there. Don't worry about it. But when you go out back and you sit on the beach, understand that when you're at Cowboys practice in Oxnard, it's 70 degrees, but the sun's beating down on you, and it might feel like it's 80 or 85. When you get to the Rudder Room and the sun's on its way down and you're next to the water, it's going to feel like it's 50, and it's windy. You want to make sure that you get all covered up. Okay. Where did I want to go today? Couple of different things. Hellman has been incredible on Fox. Yeah, stay tuned. I think you're going to get more of Hellman on Fox. Rodney Brown, you have 15 minutes. Oh, is that you, Rodney? My buddy, my friend, my sweet friend, Rodney, the all-time discus record holder at LSU, who's meeting me at volleyball in 30 minutes. I know how much time I got, buddy. I'm just trying to sneak it in. Things I wanted to talk about today and sneak in. Somebody said overall O-line thoughts. Because somebody on Twitter asked me, let me see if I can find the exact question, but it was basically which position group is going to play the biggest role in determining how this season goes. And it's the offensive line. Outside of Dak. Dak is obviously number one. And Sky, you're there, dude. He said, calm the nation on Terrence Steele, or are we really concerned? All I will say is if Terrence Steele has to play against Tank Lawrence at any point in this season, Terrence Steele is in trouble because Tank gives him the business pretty much every day. The offensive line is going to be the most important thing that's not named Dak that's going to figure out how this season goes. Like, the defense needs to find a way to replicate the turnovers, or at least close to it. I have faith this can be a pretty good defense. I have faith that it's going to be a good secondary. You've got enough dudes on the pass rush. I don't love what you have on the interior. The linebackers are fine. Parsons is awesome. It could be a good defense. Offensive line is the one thing that I kind of wonder about because Steele, he's had good moments. Camp, he's had iffy moments. In games, he's had good and iffy moments. So, to me, Terrence Steele's a pretty big unknown. Tyler Biadasz, if he is what he is, then what he is And then you got a rookie at left guard and Tyler Smith, who I will say, at least with him, it looks promising because what he has physically is rare's probably not too strong a word. Tyler Smith is a strong, athletic, and long dude. So offensive line is what's going to determine all that stuff. Offensive line. Anthony Barr said the Cowboys are contenders this year. Do you agree? Look at Voch Lombardi in the building. Look at Skywalker and Voch in the building. I was watching them last night. They're watching me today. You see that? That's people helping people, people loving people. Make sure you're following Voch Lombardi and Skywalker Steele. They're my friends. Cowboys coverage is going to be dominated by dudes who hang out online, not by dudes who do it in other ways. Prepare yourself for that. If you don't already feel that way. Maybe you already feel that way. Why can't we ever get a Voch and Jeff show while y'all get big and leave us hanging? Voch and Sky, just hit me up on the phone. We'll figure out something this week if your hotel Wi-Fi can support it. Or I could do it from my end and run it from my end. We'll get together. I believe we'll get together. So the Cowboys are a contender technically because the Cowboys are in the NFC East. Watching them in camp, I don't feel great about what they have at wide receiver. I don't feel great about the offensive line going into the season. But you play in the NFC East. The Eagles could be a threat, but until their quarterback proves that he's an actual NFL quarterback or a top half of the league NFL quarterback, I don't see how you could make them the favorite. So the Cowboys are the favorite to win the East. You get into the playoffs, and then you see what happens. You get into the playoffs with a good quarterback, and then you see what happens. Last year, you went into the playoffs with a good quarterback who was in a bad place, I think, because of all the injuries. He was never the same after the calf strain. Yeah. Any other kickers we can bring in? I hope so, because I don't know how long you can keep Jonathan Garibay in camp and not have your players look at you sideways. Even Zach Martin, I think, said yesterday that they need to step it up. Garibay, the Texas Tech kicker's missed more than he's made. And I bet it ain't close. I bet he's missed way more than he's made. The fact that he's still in camp is because he is Fossil's handpicked dude. Fossil didn't care about Cade York or what was it? There was the LSU kicker, Dicker the kicker at Texas. Fossil didn't like either one of them. He was like, Garabay's the guy. So we don't need to draft one. We'll bring him in. And now your special team coordinator, who has a lot of pull on this team, is watching his guy fail miserably, but they haven't cut him yet. And Jerry said he ain't worried about it. As long as we can kick extra points, which, by God, if you're going to go with the no-kicking route, I'm in. I am in. But I don't think that's the plan. I just don't know how long you can keep him. Liram's been okay. If you had a competition between Liram and some other guy off the streets who is borderline NFL material, you'd have an actual competition. Liram most days is he had a 10 of 11. He had an 8 of 11. He's out there making 80% of his kicks like kickers do. Garabay's out there making 40% of his kicks. I don't know why he's there. Would you rest 77 for some games in hopes of keeping him healthy? No, because that's another thing I worry about with the offensive line. I don't think Josh Ball's very good. Wearing number 75 out there. I worry about your backup tackle. So I think there's still things after you play this first preseason game, or maybe after you play a couple of preseason games, that you'll need to possibly still be bringing people in, whether it's a veteran swing tackle, whether it's a veteran wide receiver. Because with all these wide receivers, and by the way, can I get you guys to mash the like button? There's just not enough likes, and the likes are important for the algorithm, and I'm trying not to get evicted from the house. So if you guys could mash the like button while I tell you about my friends at BetOnline, which is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today, or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, BLEAV50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Where was I? Okay. The wide receivers. We do this every year, and I'm kind of excited by what TJ Vasher's done in camp. He makes some plays. Kind of excited by Simi Fihoko in camp. Make some plays. I only got to see Dontario Drummond for one day. He was hurt until the last day in pads that I was there, but he looked pretty good. Dennis Houston is running with the ones. He hasn't made a whole bunch of plays necessarily, but if he's running with the ones, he showed them enough. But you're going to get into the games, and it's Lance Lenore, John Bay Johnson time. We've had a lot of guys that we go through the beginning of camp, and then before you get to the preseason games, it's like, man, this wide receiver's really got something. You get in the football games, and suddenly they don't have it anymore, and they can't catch the football, and the moment's too big, and it's just a preseason game, and you go, whoops, well, there went that guy. I don't think that'll happen to Cavante Turpin, who's been all over the place, USFL and Spring League, and like he's been playing football that's not NFL football, but he's been playing professional football, and I think he'll be fine. Drummond took a toss sweep from running back. Yeah, he was working with the running backs the first day out there. Like he works with the wide receivers, but when they go to like the jet sweep period and the kind of we're doing bits period, Drummond would go over and so would Turpin to work with outside runs, jet sweeps, stuff like that. Okay. Anything else that I have from the people, or should I go to the questions that I have from online? Hate to say it, Eagles might take the division from Luis in the super chat. They might. If Jalen Hurts is a top 12 to 15 quarterback, it's very possible that the Eagles could win the division. I think they have a more proven offensive line. I think they have more proven weapons. Running back, Miles Sanders is really good. Cowboys might have better running backs, but just by a little bit, and it's running back, so it doesn't matter all that much. They have a better defensive line, and you definitely have better linebackers, and you might have a better secondary, but they could easily have a better roster than the Cowboys. I think Tolbert is going to surprise this year. Yeah, I mean, I think Tolbert's a baller. I'm excited about Tolbert. How do you do Super Chat? That's a great question. Someone who's done it. Can you explain how to do Super Chat? Because I'm on this end, just broadcasting, and so I don't know. Let me see if I go into the chat. Oh, here it is. If I go to say something in the chat, there is a $sign down here where I can show my support for Jeff Cavanaugh. Oh, yep, there. And then it's Super Sticker or Super Chat. So I do see how to do it. Go into chat and look at the things underneath it. Now, next. Oh, yeah, which position group is the X factor for this team? That was from a guy on Twitter, and my answer was the offensive line. Jayron Kearse is making plays from literally everywhere on the field. He plays 550 different positions, and he'll play different positions on every other play, and he's wearing the green dot while he's doing it. And I'm trying to remember, was it – oh, come on, defensive passing game coordinator. Was it Dan Quinn or defensive passing game coordinator's name is brain fart. But talking about just how Jayron Kearse needs his flowers because that dude wears the green dot and he has to line up at 3 different places on 3 consecutive plays while calling the defense and making sure he can line everybody else up when for most of us it would be hard enough to remember where I need to line up because I have to line up somewhere else every single play. Joe Witt. Thank you, Parker. Yes, Joe Witt. When's your next show, Jeff? I want to make sure I got the extra spending money to send your way to talk some Cowboys. What do you mean my next show? My shows are all right here. This is where I do the shows. The Lunatic, over under Dak, 35 TDs this year. Touchdowns total, I'll take over comfortably because I think he'll get back to running for 5 or 6, and I think he'll throw somewhere around 35. So his totals, I would say, about 40. Michael Flores, how is Tristan Hill doing? Tristan Hill is a dude that going into camp I assumed was going to be cut in this camp, and now I think... Jeff, you need a Cash App easier, slide you some supers without you getting fees taken out. I have a Venmo and a Cash App. I just don't know. It's weird to, I don't know, somehow it feels different to like post a Venmo or a Cash App on here. But I can, I guess, in the comments or in the comments of the video, I guess I could do that. But Tristan Hill's showing up, man. I don't know what they're going to do at defensive tackle. Chauncey Golston's a defensive tackle now. But, like, the top guys are Osa and Neville Gallimore. And behind them is Carlos Watkins and John Ridgeway. And then you've got Tristan Hill and Chauncey Golston and Quentin Bohanna. They got a lot of guys that are worthy of being on an NFL roster. But, yeah, Tristan Hill is showing up. He is making some plays. Tag it in your page. Tag it, put it out. Okay, you guys are going to have to explain what that means to me. How do I tag it in my page? But I will. Because, yeah, that'd be great if YouTube didn't get like 35% of that. Okay, so yeah, Tristan Hill's doing pretty well, actually. JD0421, you guys are not going to like the answer that I'm going to have to this question, by the way. If you had their current personnel and could use any offensive base scheme, McVay, New Age, West Coast offense, Shanahan, outside zone, etc., what would you pick? I feel like having a base scheme is the best way for an easy layup that this offense relies on Ford to do himself. Here is a secret that I hate saying it because I know that he's the punching bag right now and people are going to get mad at me. Bob Sturm, my buddy at the Ticket, did a study of comparing all the offenses in the NFL in terms of how often are you in shotgun, how often do you run play action, how often are you under center, how often do you do outside runs, how often do you, all the different things you can do on offense. And the team that the Cowboys are the most similar to is the LA Rams. So, the Cowboys OC is not dumb. Their offense isn't stupid. It doesn't suck. There are moments where you'd probably like them to do things better. Like if I had one thing I could insist the Cowboys do, it would be even more motion pre-snap and at the snap and more outside running. Those two things I would like to get in there, but the offense that most people consider like they do it right in the Rams is who the Cowboys are most similar to. So the Cowboys are not idiots. They're not doing stupid stuff. Would you trade one of those DTs for an O-line or wide receiver? Absolutely. If there's somebody out there that's willing to trade their fourth or fifth wide receiver for one of you, I just don't know if your defensive tackles are good enough to get you something like that. But I would love it if they did. Jeff is a boomer. You can put a comment on YouTube as creator. All right, well, I'm going to have to go figure that stuff out. I'm going to go figure out how to put the Venmo and the Cash App in this bad boy. Is there anything else? I got to go play volleyball. Okay, well, I got more stuff to talk about. I'll either do it tomorrow or later on today. Tyron Smith lost a step. Maybe, but if he's lost a step, it's lost a step from being the best left tackle in the NFL, and maybe Trent Williams is now, but Tyron Smith is freaking awesome. So don't worry about Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith is still a stud. All right. I'm going to go. Is there a world where we don't add any wide receiver talent? Sure there is, but there's also a world where you trade for somebody like Miami. Preston Williams is out of their top 3 rotation. Jalen Reagor's out of the top 3, maybe out of the top 4 in Philadelphia. Darius Slayton's out of the top 3, maybe out of the top 4 in New York. And who's the 4th guy I said the other day? There's one more guy out there, and I'm not thinking of it right now, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, Skywalker can help me. Yeah. I'm going to hit you up, Sky. You and Vach also hit me up so we can do something together while you guys are out there. But make sure you're following Vach and Sky. They have taken over for me being out there, and they are going to keep an eye on all this stuff for you. And make sure you're following Hellman, too. He's trying to figure out how how YouTube works, and he's not doing a great job of it. But when he's live, he's obviously incredible. So you guys have a great day. I have to go play volleyball. Please hit the like button if you're still here. Just smash it. Mims, Denzel Mims. And, yeah, maybe even Laviska Chenault. And remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you. Bye.